Okay, busy bees, this one is for you. So do not skip this video, especially if you are planning to buy in 2026 here in North Carolina. Everybody is so pressed to look at houses. I'm ready to buy, let's go see home. But nobody wants to slow down and just take a moment to look at the fine print. Because before you step into a house, personally, there's a lot of homework to do, okay? There are pre-work you need to do before you get yourself caught up in something you can't easily get out of. And in my journey here as a real estate agent here in North Carolina, I've seen too many times people get in trouble, not because they are careless, but because they're excited, they move too fast, they get emotional, and then don't take a moment on what they understand what they're signing, okay? I have seen buyer lose money, I have seen seller and buyer argue, I have seen complaint filed against parties. I have seen people taking people to court over just simple terms that were overlooked in a contract. So in today's video, I want to slow down, take a moment and help you protect yourself. That's why I brought my laptop to record my screen so you can see it. And we are going to go over the North Carolina offer to purchase and contract form, the tutti form that we use here to submit an offer on a property here in North Carolina. Okay, so if you are a buyer and you are close to running an offer, or you haven't even started the process yet, but you want to understand what an offer to purchase really look like, this video is for you. And listen, if you stick around until the end of the video, I am also going to cover few technical terms that a lot of buyers overlook as well too. And those are usually the terms that can come back to surprise a lot of people later. We are going to talk about making sure the disclosure are properly checked, receive and checked, whether you should request a home warranty, make sure the right name goes on the deed, make sure any additional addendum that should be added is attached to the offer to purchase. And those are kind of few key terms that I can go over at the end. Now, this might sound a little boring, but the boring stuff usually the most important stuff, okay? I know a lot of people don't have time to go over the purchase. I have seen it so many times. People don't read the fine print, okay? The contract, once you sign a contract, doesn't care that you were excited. The contract doesn't care that you didn't know. What you sign is what you are responsible for. So make sure you take a moment, but before we get into the video, let me just do a quick disclaimer and quick note. I am not an attorney. This is for educational purpose only, okay? If you need a legal advice, always talk to a North Carolina real estate attorney. So, if you're new to this channel, my name is Daniel Kumu. I am a licensed local realtor here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm with NAS Group at Keller Williams Realty. I have helped many hundreds of people relocate to Charlotte, where to live, where to move, what area. I also personally set a goal to help hundreds African Caribbean immigrant family with homeownership in 2026. So who do you know that may be looking to move in 2026 that I can help? Please reach out to me, give me a call. My number is in the description, 704-904-5152. Send me a text, shoot me an email. I'm very easy to reach. So looking to help as many people with homeownership in 2026. Okay? Let's dive back into this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the offer to purchase form on my computer, and we are going to break it down. The 8 key term I personally pay attention to every single time, because if you understand these 8 terms, 8 key points, you will avoid most mistakes that cost people money. Okay, we'll cover your purchase price, your due diligence fee, the due diligence period and date, your earnest money deposit, the seller pay concession, personal property to be conveyed, the type of financing, or if you're paying cash. We'll wrap all those with a bonus technical term that I mentioned earlier that buyer also need to watch for, to pay attention as well too. So let's go through. I'm pulling up the offer to purchase form on my screen now. So here you are. Here's the North Carolina offer to purchase, what we call the tutti form. As you can see, this is the first page of the North Carolina form. Right in front of you, the first thing is, if you put an offer, the seller's name goes here, the seller of the property. Your name will go here as a buyer. This block here is pertaining to the property. You put the address, the city, zip code, partial ID, description, legal description, all that stuff go in this block here. And you fill this out. If there is anything, if this property is a manufacturer, you check all this box. But the number one key thing that as I mentioned to you, we pay attention to, you wanted to put is here, your purchase price, okay? So if you and I met, we want to look at the property, great property, we look at the comparable, we agree on putting it, oh yeah, we love this property, let's submit an offer for $100,000. The first thing we'll do is once we fill out that first bit, is put that $100,000 on the purchase price, it goes here. Okay, that is the number one key term you wanted to pay attention to. The next thing, second, is what we call the due diligence fee. Okay, the due diligence fee goes here. Now, let me take a step and explain the due diligence a little bit, because I have seen a lot of drama surrounding due diligence fee. Okay, so the due diligence fee is an amount that you're comfortable giving to a seller in exchange of that seller agreeing to take the house off the market, going under contract, and allow you time to do your due diligence on the property you are planning on buying. Okay. Now, the due diligence fee is not refundable if you wake up one day and just feel like, oh, I got cold feet, I spoke with my friend that don't like the area, and I wanted to cancel. That money is not, once the contract is signed, the due diligence fee is due, it goes to the seller, and the only way you get that money back at closing as a form of a credit. So if you offer the seller $1,000 due diligence out of a $100,000 purchase, at closing, now you only owe 99, what is that, 99,000? Yeah, you only owe 99,000, okay? So that due diligence fee is very important. It is a fee that you as a buyer comfortable letting go, because if you change your mind, you ain't getting that money back. And also is a fee that it is not disrespectful to the seller to take the house off on the market to allow you or to get under contract for you to purchase a home. So you wanted to pay attention to, and you wanted to know what you're comfortable with, and that is one thing that I always stressed out to a lot of buyers. You change your mind, you lose that money, okay? And you have the right to change your mind. Just be comfortable with that. 2. So 3, offering the due diligence fee, it gives you what we call the due diligence period. It goes here, okay? So the due diligence period is a time that you wanted to ask the seller to do your due diligence on that house. So it could be 20, it could be 10 days, it could be 15 days, it could be 20 days. Financing, we urge for 20, 25 days to allow the lender to do the appraisal, do anything, all they need to do to secure your financing. This is the time where you do the title search on that property, you run the title, make sure the title is clean, everything is good on that property. You use this time to do your inspection, your survey, everything you need to do pertaining to that property, okay? And if there is a repair you wanted to request from a seller, you use the due diligence period to do all those that you need. The period you ask for in terms of due diligence period is very crucial, because that's when you get everything done in terms of doing your homework on this property, okay? So, 3rd key is the due diligence period, it goes here. 4th, right below the due diligence fee, there is another line where you put your earnest money deposit. Okay, the earnest money deposit is another fee that you have to come out of pocket. The difference is the earnest money deposit goes to an escrow agent. That escrow agent could be the closing attorney, it could be the real estate firm that can hold the escrow for you for the earnest money deposit, okay? The good news about earnest money deposit is if you change your mind or you get cold feet within your due diligence period, your earnest money deposit technically is protected where you can get it back. Now, if you wait till your due diligence period here ends and you decide to get your earnest money deposit back, the seller can fight you, take you to court to get that earnest money deposit as well too. So that earnest money deposit can be in jeopardy if you take your time after due diligence period to decide to cancel. So our job as a real estate agent or a good real estate agent is to make sure that you get all your due diligence done during your due diligence period. So by the time you step out of your due diligence period, the only thing you have to do is go to the closing table, which brings me to term number 5, your settlement date. Your settlement date goes over here. So the settlement date is when you would want to close on that property. Let's assume we saw a property we like it, you wanted to close. Hey, I want 30 days to close on this property. Our job here is to ask for, hey, let's get at least 25 days due diligence fee. We can do our homework on this home, make sure it is the home that you want. and then 30 days. So today is January 30th. We wanted to close on February 27th. So the settlement date will go over here. That's the date you choose to close on this property. Okay? If you want 45 days, then we'll put 45 days from here. If you want 60 days, we'll put 60 days over here when you wanted to close on that home. So your settlement date will go over here. So now we're on number 5. Purchase price, due diligence fee, earnest money, deposit, due diligence fee, settlement date. Number 6 is another important term you wanted to pay attention to, is the seller concession, okay? The seller concession goes over here. So there's a lot that is covered on that first page. Just the first page alone will show you a lot about an offer to purchase. So the seller concession is what you're asking the seller to pay you back or give back in terms of concession toward, it could be toward your closing costs, it could be toward your buy your rate down, it could be whatever you want to as a seller to give you back in terms of amount of money or percentage of the purchase price. So if you want that the lender told you, oh, we'll need about $3,000 to $4,000 in closing costs in order for us to secure this financing, then when we come here, we can ask the seller, hey, we'll offer you the full price of $100,000, yet in return, we want $4,000 back in closing costs or seller concession, and that money goes here on the offer to purchase. Okay? You can ask the seller concession in terms of a dollar amount, or you can ask in terms of a percentage. It could be 1% of the purchase price, it could be 2% of the purchase price. Either or, you can ask a seller concession in terms of a dollar or percentage. So that's number 6. Moving on to the second page. So here, this is where you put the escrow agent, and I know I mentioned that for the earnest money deposit. The escrow agent is whomever is holding on to your earnest money deposit. That person name goes here. Moving on, I know this is a lot, so I'm trying to move on so I can cover the key terms. Page number 3, fixtures, anything that is attached to the property we not convey. If anything that is leased, that is not owned, we put that there. Number 7 is personal property to convey, okay? This is another big one where a lot of people have lost money. I have lost money on personal property myself too, okay? So here, you put down any personal property you want to convey with your offer to purchase. And if the seller sign, those personal property will convey. Okay, just a deal last year, we had a buyer that we're representing put down, they want the seller to convey a refrigerator that is, or a freezer that is in the garage. The seller signed up on it. While we went, we overlooked this, and the seller took the freezer with them, or something of that nature, right? Once the seller signed on this item, purchase property to convey, the seller is liable to convey that personal property. So in this case, the seller took that freezer, guess what? And the seller moving out of state, the seller has to give that buyer money to buy a new freezer because they have agreed to leaving that personal property behind, and they didn't. So I've lost money because I overlooked personal property representing a seller. I'm sure a lot of realtors have lost money representing a seller that didn't go over some of this stuff. I'm sure a lot of buyers wanted personal property that they didn't put on here, and then on the final walkthrough come back and say, well, what happened to the refrigerator? What happened to this stuff? What happened to that stuff? Yeah, you want to make sure you check your personal property that you would want to convey on the offer to purchase, and it is on this page, okay? Very important. So that is what, number 7. Number 8 on the list is this page 5. Page 5, this is where you will let the seller know what the type of how you plan on acquiring the property. Either you're paying cash or you're financing. And if you're financing, this is where we'll check, this is a loan. What type of financing? Are you doing a VA? Are you doing a conventional? Are you doing an FHA? This is where we check on those to disclose to the seller. If you're paying cash, we'll put it to the seller here that the buyer is paying cash and send the offer to the seller. So these are some of the key terms that you wanted to look over on the offer to purchase if you want to represent the seller, or if you're a buyer trying to submit an offer. There are more to it. The offer to purchase is 14 pages long, okay? There are more to it that I wanted to take a moment to cover right after the 8 key term. But those 8 key term: purchase price, due diligence fee, due diligence period, earnest money deposit, settlement, personal property to convey, the term that you wanted to buy the property for. Those are serious terms that you wanted to look if you're one looking to buy a property in North Carolina, that those terms are well addressed in the offer to purchase form, okay? But now that I have the offer to purchase open, there's other terms that I wanted to show you as well too. One of them is the fixtures, okay? On here, a fixture is anything attached to the property automatically conveyed with that property. But you want to make sure that you point out if any item is leased and not old. Those are the kind of stuff you wanted to add. If there's any item that do not convey, you wanted to add those as well too on that page 3. Let me see, this page 4. Page 4, we talk about personal property. Page 5, financing. Here, this is very important as well too, okay? I have seen it where agents do not check if this buyer has received and reviewed the disclosure, okay? If you're on a seller and you present the seller, this for agent, you receive an offer to purchase that is signed, but the disclosure is not saved, the buyer can back out and get the due diligence back because they never received the disclosure and they never signed that they received it, okay? So if you're a buyer, you want to make sure that, okay, you receive the disclosure, because every property in North Carolina, the seller has to provide you with a property disclosure. Make sure this box is checked and make sure that, yes, I have received it, I review it, I'm okay, and you submit that with your offer to purchase, okay? This is one big one that I've seen a lot. Seller haven't owned the property. Yeah, this come and play in terms of financing, because if it's less than a certain amount of time, you may not be able to do an FHA. So this one that I've seen a lot too. There's more to it. You fill out the HOA information here. One that I wanted to bring out to you is, so this another one that I talk about. This is where you put the name as you want it to convey on the deed, okay? So if you submit an offer, let's say for instance, my wife and I are buying a home. I'm the one on the loan. My wife is not on the loan. I put my name as buyer of that property, but as part of the deed, I want my wife to be on that deed. Here, I'll put myself and my name, my wife's name on this property, because that's how I want the deed to convey, not just in my name, but me and my wife's name. And I would put that name over here as well too. So you want to pay attention to this, because this is how the attorney will write the deed of your property you're purchasing, because if you don't have your wife's name, then most likely they'll just put your name on the deed. I said this earlier, you can ask the seller for home warranty. So if you wanted to request a home warranty on the property, you wanted to check this area. No, I don't want a home warranty, the seller to provide a home warranty, or yes, I want a home warranty, and how much you want the seller to pay toward the home warranty, okay? If you overlook this, most likely you probably lose out when you can get a home warranty. So this is another one that I will say to pay attention to if you're a buyer looking to put in an offer. I know there's so much to go over an offer to purchase. And the last but not least is all the addenda that you need to include on the offer to purchase, okay? So this is all the addendum you need. If there is a additional provision you wanted to include, if there was a FHA addendum you wanted to include, you have to check this box. Your agent have to check this box before submitting an offer. So this is kind of a brief summary on what the North Carolina offer to purchase look like. I don't want to take an hour just to go over the whole offer to purchase, but I just want to take a moment to point out key things that you wanted to know. Men are on the first page. The first page cover a lot on the offer to purchase, but this just kind of give you an idea on what you're getting yourself into. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you found this video give you a little bit of knowledge in terms of knowing what you're going into before you submit an offer. Pay attention to key terms. You would want to sit down before you run any offer. We always do sit down and go over a key term that you want in your offer. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found this video helpful. I just want to add in, it just came to me that we all talk about the luxury home we talk, but nobody have taken a moment to go over the offer to purchase, because it's boring, it is not exciting, but these are very, very, very important terms, things that you need to know when you're one looking to buy a home, looking to put an offer. Thank you very much for watching this video. Again, I have a goal to help 100 immigrant homeownership in 2026. So if you know of anybody looking to make a move in 2026, please share my contact information. My phone number is 704-904-5152. Shoot me a text, give me a call. And also, if you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. I drop video every week. Hit the like if you like this video. And if you want a copy of the offer to purchase form for you to review, put down contract at the bottom, and I will send you a copy of an offer to purchase form for you to review. And any other question you have, please feel free to reach out to me. Until then, we'll see you guys next week. And thank you for watching the video. Bye-bye.